Hi everyone, my name is Jamie, and if you haven't already checked out our Twitch channel, we stream Jackbox Party Pack games every single stream. That's every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday to be precise. So come on over and check out the Twitch channel over at twitch.tv/Viva la Cabrita. So if you've clicked on this video to watch, I'm guessing that you're a Jackbox Party Pack fan, or maybe just want a little bit more information about the newly released Jackbox Party Pack 8. Being part of the Jackbox stream team, we managed to get early access to Jackbox Party Pack 8, so we were able to play through a lot of the games before they were officially released to the public on October 14th. And with that in mind, it got me thinking about making another countdown video, but this time, my favourite games from Jackbox Party Pack 8. Before we get into the video, it is important to note that this video is strictly an opinionated video, and if you don't agree with my top 5 list, I'd love to hear yours in the comment section below. The other thing worth mentioning is that I'm still trying to get my head around a couple of the new games. Although having played them a lot already, I do have a general idea as to how they work, which is enough to form an opinion as to which games I've enjoyed playing the most. And with all that said, let's get into our top 5 countdown.
Número 5.
Number 5 comes Drawful Animate. Much like Quiplash, this game received a new addition in the animated version, which allows players to be able to animate their drawings into 2 frames. This is an extended take on the original Drawful, or even Drawful 2, where players were only able to draw a single image. The concept of the game is pretty simple. You're given a prompt which you then have to draw in picture form. Once you've drawn it, you'll then see the drawings of the other players in the game, where you'll have to create a title as to what you think the drawing is. Later, you'll then have to locate the real title, although if you click the wrong title, your opposing players or that player who tricked you gains the points. Some of the nice new additions that you have to the game include the featured modes, which you're able to play custom rounds that's specific to certain topics or even events, such as Christmas, Easter, and Halloween to name a few, or even change the difficulty settings. While I really enjoy playing Drawful and very much welcome the new animated edition, I still feel like it is not a new concept and something that I haven't already played before, given that it was the game that I was least excited to try out from the pack, and I don't feel there's too many changes minus the new 2-frame animation that warrants it ranking higher up on the list, especially as drawing games generally speaking aren't my favourite from the packs. Nonetheless, it's still a great addition to the pack and one that I have enjoyed trying out a lot.
Número 4.
At number 4 is Weapons Drawn. Weapons Drawn is a game in which each player must draw their weapons of choice. In short, you're given a letter that exists in your name, and your objective is to draw a weapon that disguises the letter so people aren't able to trace it back to you once you've murdered someone. You then create a name for your guests, which your objective here is to make sure that your name doesn't directly lead back to you once you've murdered someone. And once you've created your accomplice, you'll then get a short period of time to attempt to murder another accomplice while trying to work out who brought the guest along. If you're able to do so, then you'll murder the accomplice, leaving your weapon and gaining a point. The others must then work out from the weapon drawn who the murderer is by analysing the drawing and also trying to find the hidden letter that's been drawn. This murder mystery game has been super fun to play, although it is a little bit confusing for newcomers playing for the first time. It does take a few rounds to really get your head around this game as to what's going on, and isn't so easy to dive into much like the other titles in the pack. But with all that said, finishes in 4th spot on my list.
Número 3.
Coming in at 3rd spot is Job Job. Unlike Weapons Drawn, this game is super easy to grasp and just requires you to answer the question in the prompts given. And later you take a series of answers from other players, although with all the letters randomized and in different orders. Given the letters and words that you have, it's your job to create a sentence answering the questions with the words that you have. You then go into a typical Jackbox vote-off, where the other players and audience decide on which prompt they like the most. If you use more words from different players, you can also score synergy rounds, gaining more points. Again, what I really like about this game is just the pure simplicity of playing it. I believe this was the first game I learned how to play from the new party pack, and we've had some really hilarious prompts in playing the game. A very worthy contender for the 3rd spot on the list.
Número 2.
In 2nd spot is the Wheel of Enormous Proportion. I think the concept of this game is really clever, and despite it being such a simple concept of spinning a wheel, it's very addictive, and the meeples and the animation makes it very captivating on the eye. This game is a little similar to Trivia Murder Party 2, where you answer a series of trivia questions and later you gain pieces for answering the questions correct. You later put the pieces on the wheel and you each get a turn to spin it. If anyone lands on your piece, you gain points, and vice versa if you land on theirs. You can later also gain power slices, which takes whole spaces on the wheel and scores you a hefty amount of points should someone land on them. The game ends when someone gets to over 20,000 points and then gets an opportunity to spin the winner's wheel. And if they then land on their own space, they win the game. Although if you miss your own space, the game continues until someone is eventually able to do so. As mentioned before, it's just a very super fun concept to play, and despite the fact that it's spinning a wheel which combines it with some of the best aspects from Trivia Murder Party 2, this game has been the most requested game from Party Pack 8 to play when we've streamed it live. I should also note that the ending credits tune is arguably my favourite from the whole of the Jackbox Party Pack 8 soundtrack.
Numero 1.
And at number 1 is the last game on the list in Pole Mine. This game is kind of somewhat similar to Family Feuds, where you need to pick the most popular answers to certain questions, and later it changes up, where you'll then be asked to pick the second, third and fourth most popular answers, and later on the final round going from the least to the most popular answers. This game gives you two options, streamer mode being the most popular of the two, where you're able to have two teams. What's great about this game is that it's very inclusive, and that everyone can get involved, whereas other games on the pack can only have up to 8 or 10 players. Later, the people who aren't able to get into the game can later join the Spiders team, and then you can have two teams, the streamers team and the Spiders, or in this case the audience. Later, when you're picking your door that corresponds to the answer that you're looking for, it only gives you the option for one person to choose, which means that person then needs to talk and agree with the rest of the team, which is a part of the game that I really love, as doing so encourages communication and conversation. If you get the number correct, you gain a torch, although if you get it incorrect, you lose a torch. If at the end both players have the same amount of torches, it will then go to a sudden death round. Again, just because of the amount of players that can get into the game and how easy it is to understand, and of course how it gets people speaking and communicating, this game right from the off quickly became my favourite game from the pack. And so there you pretty much have it. That was my top 5 games from the newly released Jackbox Party Pack 8. Again, this was an opinionated video, however, if you disagree with my choice or you just want to let me know what your top 5 order is, leave it in the comment section below, I would love to hear it. If you do want to see more Jackbox top countdown videos, you can also find in the end annotations my top 10 Jackbox Party Pack games ranging from Pack 1 all the way through to Pack 7. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and of course, like the video. My name is Jamie, aka Viva la Cabrita, and I will see you all in the next video.